Funding for NotAVampyre is provided by viewers like you. Find perks and tiers at patreon.com/NotAVampyre. Thank you. Life can seriously suck. A lot of our luck comes from the choices we make, but a lot of it also comes from just being unlucky or because fate seemed to have dealt you a bad hand this round. Much of our stories revolve around those unfortunate draws, particularly because there's a lot to be explored in staying afloat in life's game, and also because it's not interesting to tell stories where everything is fine and unchanging. Hadestown in particular needs to take place in a moment of chaos because it's that instability that drives the story and allows us to see how each character handles their predicaments, what they do when everything is all wrong. In particular, Hades and Persephone have my interest. While Orpheus and Eurydice are reacting to problems not created by their own decisions, the discord between Persephone and Hades has not only caused everyone else's struggles, but it's a discord they both helped to birth. Hades doesn't know how to deal with losing Persephone for 6 months out of every year, so he dives into his work, using the Wall of the Dead build to keep out his pain, focusing entirely on materialistic progress like cool cars and electric cities. Then when his wife comes home, he's still caught in this mindset to the point that he doesn't even know how to talk to her or consider what she would appreciate, like how he tries to impress her by the complete removal of nature's hand from Hadestown. And in the face of this disconnection, instead of talking to her, Hades goes right back into work and assumes Persephone is just an ungrateful drunk. The epitome of the phrase, women can't live with them, can't live without them. And then there's Persephone. How does she respond to her ever-distant husband and the cruel totalitarian he's becoming? Definitely not by having a serious talk. Sure, she points out how it's insane to think the goddess of spring and the daughter of the harvest might prefer electric over natural, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Next time we see Hades and Persephone together, she's still just going along begrudgingly with her husband while drinking to cope with her dissatisfaction. In fact, she spends most of the show just drinking and drinking, being so intoxicated that she even literally forgets to cause spring to occur. Sure, Hades induces winter too soon by coming for his wife too early, but Persephone was still responsible for ending winter, but instead launched the world straight into summer with her tardiness. Persephone as a character is a fun drunk here, but that fun is only enjoyable when other characters aren't literally starving to death because of her choices. Hades was part of the problem, but so was Persephone by choosing alcohol over sorting out her marriage. It's actually a problem both Hades and Persephone display in the show. They just accept the way things are and attempt to live with them instead of changing. For all of her complaining, Persephone doesn't put her foot down with Hades until after she sees Orpheus being beaten at her husband's orders. For as much as he claims to love his wife, it takes Orpheus' song to get Hades to listen to her and even try to bridge their divide. They're a couple that would have continued to let their relationship deteriorate without outside assistance. Persephone and Hades have grown too accustomed to the chaos that they don't even consider trying to fix it in earnest. And while they refuse to sort out their relationship, they let others suffer because they're too caught up in their own pain, throwing out entire seasons on Earth, forcing the dead to build a wall and call it freedom, and all around making everyone else miserable because they would only listen to the doubts and the voices in their heads claiming that it's not even worth trying. Complacency is how evil reigns, how bad people come to power, the way it's suddenly years later and you've spent your youth moping about what you don't have. The recipe for marriages that only ends sourly because both parties are done even trying to save it. It's how children grow up thinking that depression is just an unavoidable part of life and better is simply a pipe dream. While Orpheus saw how the world could be, Eurydice saw for the way it is, Hades and Persephone only saw each other and their own pains. They were blinded by personal day-to-day struggles that they couldn't recognize what their selfishness and choice to cope rather than fix was doing to those around them. It's easy to throw yourself into alcohol or work. Temporary escapes when the mountain called solution seems too high. Sometimes for your health it can be necessary to sit and stagnate, but eventually you need to rise and climb lest you trap yourself in a cage of your own creation. There is always something to be done, even if it's not the most direct or easily traveled route. Sometimes it's not even the solution you were hoping for, but just working towards a resolution is better than temporary vices. It's hard to recognize what is being sacrificed for momentary enjoyments until after the work is done or sobriety hits. Hades and Persephone in Hadestown act as a cautionary tale against momentary solutions. While they eked out day-to-day living, they allowed many others to suffer simply because they didn't want to confront what made them seek work and alcohol in the first place. Some of you may have heard if you're a patron of me or in my Discord, but I'm suddenly going to Indianapolis for a week, maybe 2, who knows. The plan is to continue making videos, be generally productive, and maybe even do some watch-alongs, which you can join me with in my Discord channel. Server channel, whatever. You can keep track of the things that I'm involved with, and if you're a patron, you also get access to a patron channel. On top of seeing videos 2 days early, getting access to all my scripts, and also some other perks depending on your tier. Check them out at patreon.com/NotAVampyre, and of course, on Twitter at NotAVampyre. Thank you very much for consuming this video, and until next time.